Welcome USMLE Step 1 Rapid Review, Key Association 2. There are 50 questions and answers in this video. This is the second videos out of 3 videos of key associations. What is the association with hypopituitarism? The answer is pituitary adenoma, usually benign tumor. What is the association with the congenital hypothyroidism, cretinism? Hypothyroidism, cretinism, is associated with thyroid dysgenesis, dyshormonogenesis, and iodine deficiency. What is the association with thyroid cancer? Thyroid cancer is associated with papillary carcinoma, childhood irradiation. What is the association with hypoparathyroidism? Hypoparathyroidism usually associated with accidental excision during thyroidectomy. What are the associations with primary hyperparathyroidism? Primary hyperparathyroidism is associated with adenomas, hyperplasia, and carcinoma. What is the association with secondary hyperparathyroidism? Secondary hyperparathyroidism is associated with hypocalcemia of chronic kidney disease. What are associations with Cushing syndrome? Cushing syndrome is associated with 1. Iatrogenic, from corticosteroid therapy. 2. Adrenocortical adenoma, secretes excess cortisol. 3. ACTH-secreting pituitary adenoma, Cushing disease. 4. Paraneoplastic, due to ACTH secretion by tumors. What are the associations with primary hyperaldosteronism? Primary hyperaldosteronism is associated with adrenal hyperplasia, or adenoma. What is the association with tumor of the adrenal medulla in kids? Tumor of the adrenal medulla in kids is associated with malignant neuroblastoma. What is the association tumor of the adrenal medulla in adults? Tumor of the adrenal medulla in adults is associated with pheochromocytoma, usually benign. What are the associations with refractory peptic ulcers and high gastrin levels? Refractory peptic ulcers and high gastrin levels are associated with Zollinger-Ellison syndrome, gastrinoma of duodenum or pancreas, and MEN1. What are the associations with esophageal cancer? Esophageal cancer is associated with squamous cell carcinoma, worldwide, and adenocarcinoma, in U.S. What is the association with acute gastric ulcer associated with CNS injury? Acute gastric ulcer associated with CNS injury is related to Cushing ulcer. Increased intracranial pressure stimulates vagal gastric H+ secretion. What is the association with acute gastric ulcer associated with severe burns? Acute gastric ulcer associated with severe burns is related to curling ulcer. Greatly reduced plasma volume results in sloughing of gastric mucosa. What is the association with bilateral ovarian metastases from gastric carcinoma? Bilateral ovarian metastases from gastric carcinoma is associated with Krukenberg tumor, mucin-secreting signet ring cells. What is the association with chronic atrophic gastritis, autoimmune? Autoimmune chronic atrophic gastritis is associated predisposition to gastric carcinoma, can also cause pernicious anemia. What is the association with alternating areas of transmural inflammation and normal colon? Skip lesions, Crohn's disease, is associated with alternating areas of transmural inflammation. What is the site of diverticula? The site of diverticula is usually at the sigmoid colon. What are the association with diverticulum and pharynx? Zenker diverticulum, diagnosed by barium swallow, is associated with diverticulum and pharynx. What are the associations with hepatocellular carcinoma? Hepatocellular carcinoma is associated with HBV, with or without cirrhosis, or other causes of cirrhosis, such as alcoholic liver disease, hemochromatosis, and aflatoxins. What is the associations with congenital conjugated hyperbilirubinemia, also known as black liver? Congenital conjugated hyperbilirubinemia, black liver, is associated with Dubin-Johnson syndrome, inability of hepatocytes to secrete conjugated bilirubin into bile. What is the association with hereditary harmless jaundice? Hereditary harmless jaundice is associated with Gilbert syndrome, benign congenital unconjugated hyperbilirubinemia. What is the association with Wilson disease? Wilson disease is associated with hereditary ATP7B mutation, copper buildup in liver, brain, cornea, and kidneys. What is the association with hemochromatosis? Hemochromatosis is associated with multiple blood transfusions or hereditary HFE mutation, can result in heart failure, bronze diabetes, and increased risk of hepatocellular carcinoma. What is the association with acute pancreatitis? Acute pancreatitis is associated with gallstones and alcohol. What is the association with chronic pancreatitis? Chronic pancreatitis is associated with alcohol in adults, and cystic fibrosis in kids. What are the associations with microcytic anemia? Microcytic anemia is mostly associated with iron deficiency. What are the associations with autosplenectomy, fibrosis and shrinkage? Autosplenectomy, fibrosis and shrinkage, is associated with sickle cell disease, hemoglobin S. What is the association with bleeding disorder with Gp1b deficiency? Bleeding disorder with Gp1b deficiency is associated with Bernard-Soulier syndrome, defect in platelet adhesion to von Willebrand factor. What is the association with the bleeding disorder with Gp2b, 3a deficiency? The bleeding disorder with Gp2b, 3a deficiency is associated with Glanzmann thrombasthenia, defect in platelet-to-platelet aggregation. What is the association with the hereditary bleeding disorder? The hereditary bleeding disorder is associated with von Willebrand disease. What is the association with the hereditary thrombophilia? The hereditary thrombophilia is associated with factor V Leiden. What is the association with disseminated intravascular coagulation, DIC? DIC is associated with severe sepsis, obstetric complications, cancer, burns, trauma, major surgery, acute pancreatitis, and APL. What disease is related to malignancy associated with non-infectious fever? Hodgkin lymphoma is related to malignancy associated with non-infectious fever. Name a type of Hodgkin lymphoma. Nodular sclerosis is a type of Hodgkin lymphoma. What is the association with T1418, translocation? T1418 is associated with follicular lymphoma, BCL2 activation, anti-apoptotic oncogene. What is the association with T814? T814 is associated with Burkitt lymphoma, c-Myc fusion, transcription factor oncogene. Name a type of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Type of non-Hodgkin lymphoma is diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. What is the primary bone tumor in adults? Primary bone tumor in adults is multiple myeloma. List the age ranges for patient with ALL, CLL, AML, and CML. ALL, children, CLL, adult older than 60, AML, adult about 65, CML, adult between 45 to 85. What is the association with malignancy in kids? Malignancy in kids is associated with leukemia and brain tumors. What is the association with death in chronic myelogenous leukemia, CML? Death in CML is related to blast crisis. What is the association with T922? T922 is associated with Philadelphia chromosome, CML, BCR-ABL oncogene, tyrosine kinase activation, and more rarely associated with ALL. What is the association with vertebral compression fracture? Vertebral compression fracture is associated with osteoporosis. What are the associations with HLA-B27? HLA-B27 is associated with psoriatic arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, IBD-associated arthritis, and reactive arthritis. What are the associations with death in systemic lupus erythematosus, SLE? Death in SLE is associated with lupus nephropathy. What is the association with tumor of infancy? Tumor of infancy is strawberry hemangioma, grows rapidly and regresses spontaneously by childhood. What is the association with actinic, solar, keratosis? Actinic, solar, keratosis is associated with precursor to squamous cell carcinoma. What is the association with Herald patch? Pityriasis rosea is the association with Herald patch. What is the association with cerebellar tonsillar herniation? Chiari-1 malformation is the association with cerebellar tonsillar herniation. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. More videos are coming.